Hi, I'm Brett Parker, multimedia specialist for Packaging Strategies magazine. As extended producer responsibility regulations begin to take effect, companies must prepare for more stringent packaging reporting requirements and face potential penalties of up to $50,000 per day for noncompliance. These regulations, which are already being implemented in Oregon, California, Minnesota, Maine, and Colorado, will require businesses to rethink packaging design for recyclability, reuse, and compostability. Here to talk about this is Emily Wynne, sustainability expert and footprinting co-lead at Quantis. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Now, first off, for those who may not be familiar with Quantis, can you tell us a little bit about the company?
Sure, definitely. Quantis is a leading sustainability consulting firm, pure play sustainability. We help companies transform their supply chains, products, and operational design to operate within planetary boundaries. So we work to improve product design, mitigate corporate emissions, and work on transformation of entire product design processes. I specialize in eco-design for packaging and plastics and sit on our footprinting team, where we run LCAs, corporate footprint assessments, and just general emissions mitigation strategies for companies across CPG, food and beverage, fashion and sporting goods, and cosmetics and pharmaceutical sectors.
Now, we've mentioned that EPR regulations are being implemented in several states. Broadly speaking, what are some of the intricacies and major impacts of these regulations?
I think what most clients need to be aware of is it's really sort of a wake-up call for companies and corporations. The data requirements that companies are going to be asked to align with and comply with are unlike anything that we've seen before. So really starting to get a handle on your data processes, data auditing, and supplier engagement processes is going to be more crucial than ever before. So the biggest implication is really obviously the fees that are coming with it, but just getting data systems in a place that they're going to be able to support the reporting requirements is going to be really critical in ensuring ease of compliance.
Now, recyclability, reuse, and compostability are obviously some of the main ways to comply with EPR regulations. But what advice would you give as far as specific strategies for optimizing packaging materials?
I think we've seen a lot of work in lightweighting and monomaterialization, obviously, working to more sustainable, say that in quotations, materials will be critical and one of the key ways that companies can start to optimize. But really starting to measure against the eco-modulation criteria, specifically in Oregon, getting those data collection processes in place to ensure that whatever material swaps or product design improvements are showing marked reductions in environmental impacts. There's a lot of theoretical swaps that make sense and look good on paper, but making sure that you're measuring actual impacts of these swaps and product designs is going to be critical to ensure that you're not burden shifting or creating any other undue environmental impacts that aren't pre-planned for.
What is the role of robust data systems in tracking and aligning with evolving regulations to minimize risk and drive long-term sustainability for companies? How can those data systems be established?
It really starts with a general data readiness audit based on the data points that the different that the PRO and the different states are going to put out and see where within companies' data lakes they can pull from existing data systems where there needs to be improvements from a numerical standpoint or hotspot standpoint, and starting to understand where they need to be tracking data that they hadn't before, through supplier engagement, through internal alignment of different groups and stakeholders. but it's going to be absolutely critical should they want to, and again, I'm speaking to Oregon, apply for any of the bonuses that they can get money back for and show marked improvement in any material swaps that the companies are making. They're going to need to know which products are most priority from a data readiness standpoint, and how they can start improving the traceability of the data systems that they have in place currently. So doing LCAs on a one-off isn't sustainable for anyone from a cost or investment, standpoint, from a resource standpoint, and getting scalable systems where your data gaps, where what pieces of the puzzle that you're missing is really going to be critical to not be wasting money on one-off assessments and have a scalable solution.
Well, that's crucial information to know. So thank you very much for your input. But that's all the time that we have for today. Emily Wynne, sustainability expert and footprinting co-lead at Quantis, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
And thank you all for watching.